Hello, my name's Mike Patrick, and a number of people have asked me, Mike, what is CombatiX? CombatiX, in its most basic form, is a combative system built on the body alarm reaction that every human being experiences under stress. It's a system that utilizes nothing but gross motor movement, types of techniques that one can actually apply without being some master or grandmaster of martial arts or some kung fu master from Kung Fu Theater. It's nothing like that. In fact, CombatiX is designed for anything from the average person who doesn't have a lot of time to train, and we also offer training for operators that are either SWAT, law enforcement, military, or anything like that. So we run the full range of people that we do training for. But let's talk about what makes it really unique. So many people that do martial arts think that they have their self-defense covered, and indeed they're way ahead of the average person. Unfortunately, however, martial arts doesn't really get into some of the concepts that we do in CombatiX. For instance, in real life, one has to be concerned with the legalities of what they're doing. I know it's better to be tried by 12 than carried by 6, as the old saying goes, but in reality, none of us want to end up sued and losing our whole livelihood at the end of an encounter. So use of force policies and understanding the laws regarding what you can do to protect yourself and what you cannot, what is considered excessive in the eyes of the law and such, is a necessary part of self-defense. We focus not only in helping you survive the encounter, but we also focus on trying to help you avoid the encounters in the beginning, as well as how to work through the legal aspects of the encounter afterwards in court. So CombatiX is a well-rounded system that runs the full range, the full spectrum of self-defense. We also get into techniques with firearms. We go over proper shooting form and technique. We go through different platforms that we teach within the CombatiX system. The goal is to help you learn how to use a firearm to defend yourself, but learn to use it in a dynamic fashion. So much of the training out there, people stand, they square up towards a bullseye, they put their arms out and they shoot at a target, not understanding that this isn't the best way to train. Real life situations are very dynamic. Things are happening, things are changing, evolving constantly. And besides, the other side's probably shooting back at you, unlike a paper target or cardboard that's just going to stand there and let you shoot at it. So it's very important that we focus on teaching our students force-on-force training so they get an idea of dealing with a live human being who's trying to shoot them or trying to stab them or hit them with a pipe or whatever. And so our firearms training is very dynamic for that purpose. We also carry this concept into our edged weapons training. So much of the knife training that I see out there involves what we call knife sparring. It's like martial arts with a knife in your hand, but nobody really fights that way. The techniques are not realistic for the real world. We've studied hundreds and hundreds of actual knife attacks to understand what types of movements an aggressor makes, what type of concepts they use to find their prey. We call this victimology. We want to understand why they choose the prey that they choose. We also study the predators to find out what makes them tick and how they move and how they act, how they think, so that we can help people to better protect themselves. When it comes to the hand-to-hand training, we think we have one of the best systems in the world because it is based on adrenaline stress response or body alarm reaction. So our movements are very much about gross motor movement. We don't have all kinds of fine motor skills that are going to deteriorate under stress. Instead, we have gross motor movements, we have easy takedowns. I've seen so many programs out there where the people are trying to sell you something that takes years and years to master. Do you really have time to do that? Do you know I'm going to be attacked tomorrow at 6 p.m. or it's going to be 5 years from now on April 21st or whatever? No, you have no idea when the next attack might come. So you need to be prepared at all times for anything that may come your way. That's the idea of CombatiX. We believe that self-defense, or personal defense as we prefer to call it, should be something that you can learn quickly without a lot of effort, without having to train hundreds or thousands of hours just to master a basic movement. Instead, everything we do can be learned quickly and applied overnight. So the movements don't require you to be a black belt or a master of martial arts. Instead, It just requires that you understand some basic concepts of body mechanics, some basic anatomical targeting, some basic scientific principles about psychology and how people think, and we roll all this together into one of the world's foremost systems of self-defense. Because we understand the need for people to feel achievement, our CombatiX training system is designed in a tiered ranking structure. What this means is everyone starts out with a first level belt, and then they work up through the belt levels until they eventually earn their black belt in the CombatiX system. What makes this difference is we don't wear, like in the martial arts, we don't wear a traditional martial arts uniform. Instead, we wear BDUs, battle dress uniforms. We wear combative type clothing. Why? Because it's comfortable, because it's resilient, it stands up to the aggressive training that we do. And then the ranking system is based on the color of the belt that runs through the BDU pants. So unlike martial arts, where you're wearing a special uniform, martial arts uniform, and a large belt, here you're wearing clothing that a lot of people who take combatives like to wear each and every day for the comfort and durability. We also like that the clothing affords us the option of carrying weapons. Many of us have concealed weapons permits, and we carry our weapons with us as part of our self-defense arsenal. And so all of this works together for the CombatiX system to help you see that you're achieving levels of progress through the system and ultimately earn your black belt in it. So you say, well, how do I get started with this? Well, visit us on the internet at www.combatixtraining.com. Again, that's www.combatixtraining.com. We're working on our curriculum right now, and we expect very soon to have the new content up on the website available for you to order. Be combat ready.